Howdy doody, everyone. Wambu here. Thanks for 50,000. Bye. No. I promised this video. I'm committing to it, but like, wow. It's hard for me to really express the excitement I feel right now. Like, I'm not really the type of person to be bouncing off the walls, fucking shit up, man. But honestly, this right here is just so encouraging and uplifting. I don't know. I just feel really honored and thankful to have this much support from, so many people. I'm so thankful for you guys, and I really can't believe the channel's gotten this far. The last time I celebrated a sub count, like in video, I was at 1,300 subs at the time. It's been like 2 years since then, but it doesn't even feel like that long since I was celebrating 1,300. And now here I am, 50,000. I don't know what else to say. That's just fucking crazy. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. But yeah, I wanted to make a video for you guys where I could interact with you more directly, so I announced a little while ago that I'd be doing a Q&A. You asked me a lot of fucking questions. There was a whole lot to sift through. I was very pleasantly surprised. We'll just get right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy. The first question comes from the entire universe. All the planets gathered together, and the Earth got all up in my face and was like, Wambu, why Chandelure? And like, yeah, fair enough, I guess. I was inspired to be a Chandelure because of Pokken. I had already wanted to replace the Azumarill avatar that I had prior because it was like really wearing off on me. I just grew to not like it very much. The way Pokken represented Chandelure was just very cute. I just liked it a lot, and I was like, yeah, this is a good avatar. This is good. I went to Biosic C, the artist who made both avatars, formerly known as Liquid Pencil. I paid him, we tried it out. The more kind of little touches added to it, it really just kind of sold me on it, and especially the way I can make my face detach from my body. I kind of recommend that anyone starting using an avatar in particular just like get something really fun to edit, because that can make the process just way more fun. That being said though, I might need to one day change it because it is a pretty direct reference to Pokemon. It is pretty blatantly a Chandelure, and I don't know if that's going to get me in copyright trouble later down the line, but in case it does, I might need to change it to something more original. I am going to retain aspects of this avatar, like the face coming off. Definitely I'm going to be sticking with this whole ghost motif. Until that day comes, I am perfectly happy sticking with this thing. It's the best avatar I have. For those of you wondering which one's my favorite, it's this one, obviously. Next question is also one that wasn't really asked by a specific user. Just a lot of people asked this question. Where did the name Wambu come from? It was originally derived from my previous username, Wambulance Man, which a friend and I came up with back in like 2008. We were a big fan of that whole like, somebody call the Wambulance joke. I don't know, it was just very funny to us. We were stupid kids. So Wambulance Man was my username for a while, until I grew up and realized that it was a shit fucking username. But I very often shortened it in chats to Wambu, and I kind of just turned this shortened version of it into the official name. A lot of people would argue that based on the original username, the pronunciation should be Wambu, but no. I've been trying to distance it from the original username, so I say Wambu. People just mispronounce it in a number of different ways. Some people go way too deep on the ah sound. They're like, Wambu. You gotta go kind of in the middle. Wambu. If Wambu is the way that you're saying it, then you're smart. You're good. Thanks. Hey Wambu. Hey Wambu. Have you heard of this game? It's called Deltarune. The guy who did Undertale, Mr. Undertale himself, made another Undertale. Have you played it? Tell me your thoughts on Deltarune. I got this question a lot as well. I'm gonna get this out of the way here. It is definitely not as good as Undertale. It does not hit the same emotional heights. The battle system does not evolve in the same way. The narrative is kind of more rudimentary. But that being said, Toby Fox himself kind of admitted that it wouldn't be evocative in the same way. So what we did get, even though it was kind of smaller, even though it was a bit more streamlined, it was really good. I think in some ways the characters are actually kind of easier to get attached to because they actively become part of your party. The internet loves Ralsei, and rightfully so. Ralsei is the fucking man, okay? You don't front on my boy Ralsei. He's perfect. He's a perfect creature. I think one thing that worries me about Deltarune, without spoiling too much, the ending does kind of have a cliff cliffhanger, and given that Deltarune is apparently going to be episodic, I'm kind of worried that the fan base is going to just tear down the narrative completely before Toby Fox even really gets the chance to expand on it fully. But overall, good experience. As for whether or not I'm going to make a list on it, I don't know. I think it's going to be a bit harder to work up the passion to do that this time around, but you know what? We'll see. We'll see. It's a possibility. This is kind of the point of the video where I finally start actually naming names. The Great Kiwi Beast, Mr. Someone, and Lukey all asking me the same question. I know this might be a bit obvious, but what is your favorite Pokemon of all time? Oh, you think it's obvious, huh? Is it actually obvious, Mr. Lukey? Is it really that obvious, Lukey? Yeah, it is actually kind of obvious because it's actually not Chandelure. Plot twist. Chandelure is actually my second favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon is Jolteon. Each generation, I will train up a Jolteon, basically. A lot of it is kind of nostalgia. In Gen 3 and Gen 4, Jolteon was one of the best electric types you could have, but it's kind of since been outclassed, which is a shame, but regardless, Jolteon, you know, I love its design, I love using it, it's a perfect Pokemon to me, and I really don't think anything is gonna come along to beat it out. Jolteon, best Pokemon ever, my opinion. Fight me, bitch. We got Lampshade Ninja over here asking me not 1, not 2, not 5, but 4 questions. And I'm only gonna focus on the 1. Sorry, dude. Who are your inspirations for your channel? I was originally inspired to do countdowns from people like Fawful's Minion, Josh Scorcher, and in particular Rabid Luigi. His content has kind of worn off on me a bit, but he was a big inspiration for me back in the day. My favorite YouTuber ever is German985. He's just fucking hilarious, and he's been pretty inspiring to me for like a really long time now. And I also follow a lot of music reviewers who have also kind of inspired my work in the past. In particular, there's Anthony Fantano, Todd in the Shadows, and Spectrum Pulse. Spectrum Pulse in particular is just this like very articulate, very fun person to watch. He's a super underrated channel. Definitely go and check him out. Jackson Zeding, or Jackson Zidding, which is a slightly more unfortunate pronunciation, asks, favorite person to work with and why? I don't really like to play favoritism with this sort of thing. I'm definitely going to anyway. It's a tie between Spectre Spark and Ed Seymour, the Ed Boy himself, and really for opposite reasons. Spectre is someone who I think I have like a lot of good chemistry with, and we always kind of bounce ideas off each other. It's resulted in a lot of the more dynamic videos, I guess. Probably some of the cringier ones too, but regardless, working with them is always a blast. I also think I have good chemistry with Ed, but in a more subdued way. He is so chill and easy to work with. Collaborating with him is almost a relaxing experience. You could just be like, hey, I'm gonna do this with the script. He's just like, yeah, sure, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with anything because I'm Ed Boy. I've definitely got the most mileage out of working with those two for sure. And on the topic of Ed Boy himself asked me a question, albeit kind of the opposite one. He asks, what has been your favorite solo video to work on so far? That is a super difficult question. I could rewatch any of my videos and like the process of working on it, suddenly it just all comes back to me. It all just flows back to me like, what was I going through at the time? What was the fun part of making the video? What was the difficult part of making the video? I would have to give it to the top Smash Bros. Fighters. I just kind of went like ape shit on that one. Like I really went kind of dickhead try hard on like the writing, on even my recording, and especially the editing. Working with my buddy Wave to record the footage was also like a lot of fun. There's so many fucking super subtle Easter eggs in the video. I don't think any one person could just pick up on all of them because there's so many gags just in the footage alone. I'm hugely proud of that video. I think that is probably, in terms of solo work, that is my best countdown so far. Madam Starfall asks me, have you ever wanted to do a crossover with Fawful's Minion, and what subject would you want to do? This is another question that I kind of just get a lot in general, and not really just with Fawful's Minion, just with a bunch of content creators. But with Fawful's Minion in particular, it would be pretty special for me in the same way that collaborating with Josh was special to me, where it's like, this is one of my inspirations, and I've come far enough that I can work with them. But that being said, Fawful's Minion and I, we haven't talked all that much. We definitely have mutual friends, and I'm sure our audience has quite a bit of overlap, but we're not on super regular speaking terms, I guess. That being said, it would still be pretty cool. Someone like my boy Soul, and two of my Countdown brothers, Chaos Key 4013 and Green Scorpion. Those are people that I'm kind of on more speaking terms with, and I think collaborations with them would be just as exciting, but also more tangible. But yeah, with Fawful's Minion, I'd love to collaborate with him, but in terms of what subject, I have no idea. It would have to be either Team Fortress 2 or Smash Brothers. Maybe Pokemon as well, actually. Those three, I think, we kind of share a mutual interest in. Jan Stefan or Jan Stefan? I'm sorry, I have no idea how to pronounce that. How would your top 10 favorite Overwatch heroes change if it was made today? I'm sorry I haven't gone back to this topic. I know I said I would, but I really haven't been able to nail down anything super consistent. I feel like my opinion wavers all the time. Since I made that list, I have become so much more dedicated of a tank player, so I think a lot of the DPS characters would probably be lower down. Winston, Diva, Zenyatta, I think they still hold the top 3, but they do face some stiff competition from Orisa and Wrecking Ball. I've really grown to love those two. I've really been taking to Wrecking Ball lately. He's just a ton of fun, but I would have to bump off Torbjorn and probably Reaper from the list because I haven't touched those guys in forever. And you know what? We're also gonna put my boy Bastion higher up. We're gonna put Bastion at like number 5. I know Bastion's gotten so much better since I made that list. It's weird to say, but he is kind of my favorite DPS, and that makes me sound like such a fucking scrub. Bastion is incredible now, and I love him. He's in the top 5 now. I'm gonna make so many people mad with this. Good fucking lord. The not so interesting TJ asks me, what's your honest opinion on Waluigi? And, you know, if I made people mad with that Overwatch question, then I'm about to make people way more upset, because I don't like Waluigi at all. I don't know a single person that really cared all that much about Waluigi before the fucking memes, because I really don't think he was a standout character in any way. And even the memes themselves are kind of mediocre, to be honest. I don't know. I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's particularly interesting. And, you know, the fact that Sakurai was straight up harassed by people to put Waluigi in Smash, that was a pretty embarrassing time to be a Smash fan, not gonna lie. If you like him, then whatever. Clearly other people are seeing something in him that I'm not, and if he's the sort of character you like, that's fine, that's cool. I just don't see the appeal. Sorry. In the same comment, actually, the not-so-interesting TJ asked me another pretty interesting question. Do you think you could be able to have a successful career on YouTube? Damn, I hope so, dude. I can tell you I definitely did not expect to get this far when I first started. In fact, I had no pretense of being a full-on YouTuber at all. But now that the channel's at 50K, it seems a lot more tangible. I'm not gonna lie. That being said, this is kind of a question that I've always really struggled with, because it's like, I want to be able to do this for a living, but I don't want this to become about the money too much. I still want it to be about the art. How do I make it a career without sort of selling out, I guess? That's the question that I always sort of struggle with. But if I could ever find that balance, yeah, I think I would definitely want to go for it. Alexander Richmond over here says, my question is, do you prefer 2D or 3D styled games? Sprites or models? If so, then explain which. And if you like both equally, then, I don't know, sing more praise about the godly metal ability. I don't have much of a preference in terms of aesthetics. There's a lot of games that I really love that go for 2D style, and same thing with 3D. That being said, I can kind of answer this from a different perspective in that I've actually worked with both of these, and in terms of which one I like working on better, 3D is definitely funner to dick around with since models tend to be fairly malleable, but those of you who follow my Twitter know that I do make sprite artwork quite a bit, and in general, I think I find it relaxing to do pixel art in particular, where you can be kind of methodical and go pixel by pixel until you get the image you want. In general, I think I tend to prefer working with 2D to 3D, but I honestly recommend that anyone going into game design in particular dabble with both, because they're both just very interesting, they both can be very fun. But one thing, however, that you gotta remember is that the godly metal ability that you mentioned earlier, it only exists in 2D right now, doesn't it? There's your fucking tiebreaker right there. 2D's better because metal, Kirby. 6 out of 10 says, why do your friends suck? Also, favorite video game soundtrack composers. Now, this person might sound like he's being mean, but you could say that this dude and I, you know, we've been friends for quite a long time. 20 years, so I think he's got credence to be asking this question. I don't fucking know, man. Why you a shit tier friend, my dude? Also, favorite video game soundtrack composers, you know, I really don't pay attention to composers as much as I should, but of course, I'm gonna be bringing up Toby Fox, Koji Kondo, and I guess most of all, Akira Yamaoka, who made the Silent Hill soundtrack. And for those of you who don't know, Silent Hill 2 in particular has my favorite soundtrack of any video game as of right now. His whole mentality towards making music and whatnot, I think is very fascinating. I really don't keep up with composers as much as I should, but those to me are the pretty standout names. Dylan Garcia asks, have you ever thought of live streams? The short answer is yes. I still do stream sometimes on my Twitch or on the Fanfickle channel, or more specifically the Streamfickle channel. I guess the reason I haven't really done streams on my main channel is because I tend to get exhausted when recording for a long time. Maybe if I can one day get past that, then yeah, I might stream on this channel. I have been wanting to just branch out and do other things on this channel in general, but before I make any major changes, I'm going to obviously let you guys know and get your input. I'm not going to make any sort of like sudden changes to the channel. Vicious asks me, what do you look for most in a game? Gameplay, story, etc. I love this question because this is just a really cool topic to me. Mostly though, I like to assess games just purely on their merit. I don't really like when game critics fully prioritize gameplay or fully prioritize story because I feel like it really causes them to miss the appeal of certain games. I'm not going to go into a horror game thinking that it's going to be a super fun gameplay experience. And likewise, I'm not going to go into a Mario game expecting a super in-depth and expansive narrative. If a game is fun, I can accept a mediocre story, and if a story is really engaging, I can accept mediocre gameplay. Some people would argue that games just automatically fall apart without fun gameplay, or games just automatically fall apart without a real story, but I honestly disagree with that handily. I really think you gotta look for what sort of experience a game is trying to be. I don't think it's a good idea to fetishize either one too much, if that makes sense. KY Games asks, are you gay? And admittedly, I'm not super sure how much this person was trying to take the piss with this question, but I figured it was kind of an important question to answer anyway, because if any of you guys have seen me on like my talk show that I do with Spectre, or even just on one of the Fanfickle streams, I do kind of bait the ships a lot. I'll joke about being gay for Ed or whoever, but at the end of the day, I think it's important for me to put it out there that no, I'm not actually gay. I'm hetero-romantic. I am not into men at all. Sorry if that ruined anyone's dreams, but yeah, that's just the way it is. Quote from Cave Story, like the actual character, asks me 4 questions, but I'm only going to be responding to one of them. And no, it's not the one about my social security number. It's actually going to be the 3rd question. Do you have any way for your fans to contact you? And kinda, Fanfickle has its own fan server for Discord, where people can find me on that, and sometimes they'll message me. Honestly, I tend to respond to people on Twitter fairly often. Message at Wambuology, I'll probably respond on there. That being said, I do get kind of selective about who I respond to. If I get the feeling that people are contacting me just for the sake of talking to someone with an audience, I guess, that tends to be kind of off-putting. If they actually want to talk about something in sort of an engaging way and talk to me like I'm an actual person, then that's usually very pleasant, and I'll usually respond pretty well to that. Yeah, feel free to message me on Twitter if you want. Again, it's at Wambuology. So I'm about to get as sincere as I possibly can for this last question. The Fallen Gamer asks, Wambu, I've been a big fan of you for some time now, and I was wondering, what got you started on the path of a YouTuber? What drives you to put so much work into videos for the enjoyment of others? First of all, let me just say that your support is widely appreciated, and that goes for the Fallen Gamer and for the rest of you guys watching. To answer the question though, I first gained the confidence to start making my own stuff after I auditioned for an audio drama being hosted by Josh Scorcher back in like 2013 or so, and I ended up actually getting the part. That to me was a really good lesson in how if you don't really do anything, then everything stays the same, but if you actually go for these opportunities, only good stuff can come out of it, really. That's what initially gave me the motivation, but as for what drives me nowadays, your question kind of answers itself. It's for the enjoyment of others. As cheesy as that sounds, money and recognition, you know, that's great and all, but it's really getting the laughs from others and bringing all these good vibes that makes this experience so rewarding. It's seeing all the comments that are discussing the video in some way, or even just quoting a part of it and reacting to it. It's getting all the feedback from you guys, and all my other friends who support my work. That's what makes this really rewarding above all else. Thanks again, all of you, for getting the channel as far as it has, and for just continuing to make this experience so fucking wild and fun. You're all the real winners here. I don't know if that sentence is applicable here, but you know what I mean. Alright, now I said in my original post where I announced the Q&A that I'd be inviting shitposts in this as well, so we're doing it. We're doing the fucking shitposts, and I'm just gonna say right now that this part of the video might be a bit self-indulgent because a lot of these posts are from people I know, and you're gonna see now that my friends absolutely never take me seriously ever. Case in point, freaking Soul over here being like, hey, what are your thoughts on dabbing? And you know what? To quote one of the intellectual greats that I know,
I would rather stick pencils into into my eyes.
Nah, but seriously, Soul, my boy, regardless of whether or not you dab, whatever, you're still a treasure on this world, even if you're also a complete fucking trash human being. It's like the old saying goes, one man's trash is the exact same fucking person's treasure. Got Crimson Glow over here saying, if you were a pony, what kind would you be? Asking for a friend. Shiba Inu. Valencia's Angle. I think that's how you say that. Fellas, is it gay to bottom text? There's nothing inherently homosexual about that to me, but even if there was, we really shouldn't be judging, man. It's 2018. Like, come on, dude. If you put one lasagna on top of another lasagna, is it just one big lasagna? All ETC, I don't even know how to answer this question. This one just kind of tore my mind in two. Maybe you've got like a lasagna pancake stack? I don't know. Maybe you've made a lasagna sandwich. You've melded lasagna with some kind of stacking food, but I don't know what, dude. Does this image arouse you? I think I'm gonna come up with a bit of a point system for that, because I would say the Dat Boy meme definitely gets some points. I am a big fan of Dat Boy, but Uganda Knuckles is a shit meme, pretty high-key racist, definitely not one of 2018's better memes, so I'm deducting 1,000,000 points for that one. And also Tide Pods kill people, and death is bad, so I'm also deducting points for that. However, I am gonna add some points back, because this is from my girl Fafu, and she, you know, she brings the good vibes, but at the end of the day, I would have to say no, this definitely doesn't arouse me. I'm an asexual boy, and also, this is kind of horrifying. This is kind of just a shit image, and it's kind of cursed. It might have just given me bad luck for like 8 years. Virgil Grugan with, is mayonnaise an instrument? And goddammit, like, of course someone was gonna throw the obligatory SpongeBob reference in there. Someone, anywhere, do a fucking Q&A and see if someone doesn't throw this bullshit about mayonnaise being a goddamn instrument at you. I dare you, it's gonna happen. S80 with, on a scale of dumb to 10, how good is the metal copy ability? I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat that you are setting entirely the wrong metric here, okay? Because these things are not mutually exclusive. It's so far past even a 1 or 0, so goes so far into the red, you basically need a new level of intelligence to even comprehend, to even like get into the right mental state, to even access the key, the energy needed to properly understand the metal ability. It's such a complex level of shit that it basically comes full circle and goes from a 10 to a 6 billion. But it still is dumb. It still is very fucking dumb. It's not a matter of being placed on the scale. It is the scale, my friend. It is the fucking scale. But on the topic of things that actually deserve shit, my buddy Wave Runner asks top 10 Cadet Jotty moments. If you guys don't know, Cadet Jotty is from Maple Story 2, which is a game that I've been kind of enjoying lately. Cadet Jotty is the worst character in the fucking universe. He's terrible. I haven't gotten that far into the story, so if there's a moment where Cadet Jotty dies, like, horribly, in, like, the most hilarious, undignified manner, then that just will get all 10 spots, basically, right away. Numbers 10 through 1 are the time that Cadet Jotty dies, if he does indeed die in that game. Now, for the record, I had 2 friends pull the exact same bullshit. The day I announced that I was done taking questions, oh, but I didn't get to ask my question yet, what the fuck? And so I let them ask their questions, and both of them just completely fucking shitposted. First one over here is Kate Bug with, why you a fart face? And honestly, this question is departed so far from any realm of reality that it's basically not even worth acknowledging. But regardless, I did anyway, because Kate Bug's my friend, I guess. The other person who did this bullshit was unsurprisingly my friend Kimmy, who asked, death? Dying? Death? 3 questions, and you know what, for someone who is such a fucking death advocate, you ran out of death synonyms very quickly, didn't you? Would it have taken you, like, any time at all to just go to thesaurus.com and type in death and put, you know what, I'm gonna do it right now. Thesaurus.com, I'm going to look up death. Extinction. Extinction. Termination. That's a cool word. You could have thrown termination in there, Kimmy. What? You didn't even put effort into this. But also, more importantly, I just wanted you guys both to know that both of you did the same joke because you're both equally uncreative. Just laying the fuck into them. I'm sick of your bullshit. But then we also have Crystal Ring, who really just kind of just broke the fucking system here. Is Sans number 3 on your top 10 Deltarune characters? I'm not even fucking touching that. When will the Vocaloid countdown be coming out? I don't know. When I listen to more Vocaloid songs, I guess, and when I start reviewing music. And also never. It's not happening. Are you a chicken? And if so, are you scared? It's a reference to the fucking Pumpkin Hill, like, you a chicken, don't be scared. Fucking bullshit. Have you accepted Lord of the Flies as your Lord and Savior? I told you this shit is fucking, like, in-jokey and self-indulgent. Collab with me, please, my crops are dying. That's not even a question, so you have been disqualified, completely. But also, maybe someday, I don't know. My buddy, chum, pal, friend, fella, amigo, Rom asks, how do you feel about the pace of current rappers? Have you considered teaching Wambology in schools all across the globe? By Shadow of Roserade? No fucking way, my dude. This is not something that you gotta learn in academia. You gotta go on like a journey. You have to like go all the way up a mountain to find a dojo where you can get like training from like a master in Wambology before you can harness the power that is Wambology. And finally, we have the question to end all questions coming from Multicolored Heart with why is Sans number fucking 3? Fucking damn it. Like, seriously? I kinda love that this has become a bit of a meme, because this is something that I used to get as, like, sincere questions on my Undertale videos, and it was so annoying, because it, like, doesn't tell me shit. Like, do you want Sans to be higher or lower? Is there something in the explanation that didn't work for you? Just watch the fucking video. I already tell you guys why Sans is number 3. It used to kinda get under my skin a little bit, but now it's funny that, like, my audience and I can actually joke about this. So I think that's going to be it for now. If you guys ended up liking this, I would definitely not be opposed to doing something like this again one day. At the very least, it's good unscripted practice, but I think I'd like to wrap this up by giving one more thank you to all of you. Having the support of 50,000 people now is such a huge honor, and I hope that in time, this channel will reach an even bigger audience and be even more fun for even more people one day. So thank you all again for your feedback, your loyalty, your patience, and your support. Take care, everybody.